Hello, my name is Richard Knight, and this is what I believe. I believe that faith without works is dead, and without faith, it is impossible to please God. Over the past 17 years of my life, my faith and my trust in God has been tested over and over again. It has been times where I thought it was too much to handle, and just to give up on life and to be done with myself. But without the Word of God constantly in my ear, through a lot of stuff I've been through, I wouldn't be the young man of faith and of God today. My story begins with my family and my younger years. Like many families, my family is different. My dad is a minister at the church we attend, and he's under my pastor's authority. So, my sisters and I are like the minister's kids, because we are under the authority of a man of God. My dad is very anointed in the Word, and at first, it seemed like the path I was taking at the beginning of my life. When I was about 5 or 6 years old, I knew God very early. I used to be so into church and giving praise and worship to Him. And on Sunday school, I was so engaged with the message, and it made me love Him so much, even though I didn't know what He had done for us, but I knew that God was the Father and Jesus was His Son. And early on, I was getting blessed by people that I didn't even know. But as I got older, things slowly changed for me. Growing up, I was always at a struggle fitting in with people, and it kind of got to me for the longest. And I felt I needed to do anything to fit right in. And I went to the extreme and did crazy things so that people could notice me. But it only made it negative for me. And I start being called a follower, lame, and it got even worse for me. Then I tried the female thing, talking to girls, but at that time, they didn't give me the time, day, or night. And at that point, I was thinking, really? Why don't they like me? Why am I not wanted? I couldn't figure out the question to that answer. But until 8th grade, I started realizing who I was, and I started doing my own thing. I started wearing what I liked instead of what other people thought I should wear. That's when I started wearing polo again. Back in the day, it wasn't really that popular. So people said mean things to me, and they were saying things like, oh, you're trying to be white. But that wasn't the case. So I guess you could say that I was basically setting a trend. Then people began to like me. That's when I met my two best friends, Jazz and Daryl. Those guys are real, and they loved me. And they actually cared. But as soon as I got to Hoover, I had to start all over again. Hoover High School was very new to me, and it was gigantic. I had never been in such a big school like this. I was so nervous meeting cool people, but it kind of made it easy because I had church friends to go here, so it was pretty cool. I had found myself finding cool people, but with the wrong crowd. I had pretty much did what they did. Sag, hang outside of class, walking in the halls, basically doing what they did. And it caught to me until one day I stole food from the lunchroom. And on that day, I got a wake-up call. I needed to stop following other people and do what I do and be cool with myself. Soon after, I started getting better socially and emotionally. I was trying to make an effort to stay with God and to have faith with God, and it was going okay. As I began my sophomore year, I was on the right path. Work was going well, school, and spending more time reading, and it was going great until I fell back in those same habits. And I was believing God for things to happen, but it didn't go my way or it didn't come fast enough, and I got so frustrated. It got to the point where I was done with it. I was in a rough spot in my life. I was dealing with a struggle with school, personal life, dealing with family's deaths, and my relationships. Then one night, God called me and He asked me, "Is what you're doing right now worth Christ dying for?" At first, I was confused, but as I thought about it, I wasn't really confused. So on January 1st, 2012, I made a decision to listen to my pastor and to stay in church with my parents. And I got so much out of it, and it definitely made me a better son and a better friend. I'm at the point now, I'm at 100% absolute faith with God. And I believe whatever I want or whatever I'm going through, He will work it out on time. So listen, whatever you do, do not doubt God, because He will always, always come through in your life. My name is Richard Knight, and this is what I believe. Thank you.